Hello, Eloise, and welcome to the artist's journey, where I let you know about what's going on, what's up. That was just a little bass line. It's a original composition that I'm working on. The working title, Cypress Boogie. All right. So let's see what's going on this week. Well, I just received some demos from my collaborator in Italy, the inimitable Piero Peluche, and for some reason he wants us to do a cover of Cats in the Cradle. You know that song? Cats in the cradle in the silver spoon, little poppin' man in the moon. And so he's really into it. I'm not quite exactly sure what's going on, but I'm glad to do it because do you know that song? I used to love that song in high school. I first heard it at summer camp. And it is one of the most melancholy, saddest songs in the world, right up there with Mad World. And so that's what's going on with that. And then I'm just a little bit distracted because the live cast is bugging right now for whatever reason. And let's see. Oh, I got in touch with an old friend of mine, Carmelo. Carmelo got in touch with me. We worked a number of months back together on a blockchain certificate of authentication project. So whenever you buy a piece of art, it often comes with a certificate of authentication. Why am I stuttering? Do I always stutter, or is it just when I'm on camera? Whatever the case may be. Whenever you buy a piece of art, it comes with a sheet of paper that says, you know, that this is the real deal. It was bought by whoever, it was created by whoever, whatever date, and so forth. And so he was working with a company whose name I can't remember right now. I think it was something like Tessera. And I remember because it's the name of those little ceramic pieces that you make tile with. And I don't know whatever happened to that. It was just too much work on my end. To fill out I just in the end it didn't work out. So anyway, he invited me to it's called a salon. It's a fancy art fair. This weekend? No, next weekend. And so he's going to be showing some of his work. What he does is he makes these jewelry birds. He makes these birds out of precious stones. And they're pretty cool, and he's actually going to be on the podcast next week. And so be on the lookout for that. You'll be able to see his work. We're going to try to work that out somehow. He wants me to show him how to do a podcast. I'm like, dude, it's just me on a seat with a couple of phone-type devices in front of me. But he's going to bring some gear, and we'll see what we can work out. I still have to box those little faces, those étoiles du marais, excuse me. So I've been trying to calculate how to build a box, you know. And in my experience, if you're making a box with, you know, corrugated cardboard, you have to account for the thickness of the cardboard when it bends. So often what happens is I end up making boxes that are just too tight. And so I'm planning it out with in Illustrator to make a technical drawing so I can figure out exactly how it should be. And then I may have to adjust after that, but we'll see. And what else is going on? I found a photo website because often in my work, if you've seen my pieces, there's one called Aphrodite Hastens to Warn Adonis, and the other one is called Caryatid in Love. So those titles have both come up from my good friend of mine, Constantine. And the mythological titles, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. And so the work that he does is, so what I do is I take I made these photos using my normal palimpsest collage. You can see a little bit of it back there. Technique to prepare the canvas, and then instead of doing a building, I might do a building as well, but I do a figure. And so I had a gal come over and do a photo shoot here, and then I take those photos and then I make the paintings using those photos as a reference. And I found her on Facebook, I believe, and this was a couple of years ago. And so I was just asking around. I was looking on Instagram, and I was looking in all the photography groups on Facebook and asking around, and it was just a lot of work. But this one is a website especially for models and photographers to get each other together. It's called Focal 31, and so I have some self-portraiture work up on there, and so I put those on there. And there's one photographer who's interested in for me modeling, but that would be funny. But what I'm going to do is I need to establish my photographer's node so that I can find some people for some subsequent paintings. A friend of mine, Sabrina, said that she would come over and do some modeling for some reference photos. And I'm still waiting to hear back. I know she left this weekend. I don't know if she's back or not. And what else? Oh yeah, so yesterday I did a bit of an experiment, excuse me. But if you watched yesterday's podcast, it was about, what was it? It was about, dating a man. Yeah, that's what it was. And so what I did was I talked about, in the little thumbnail, I put some like the title, something like gay love or something like that in the thumbnail title. And then I also put it in the text. And then on the little thumbnail, I've even put a little rainbow flag just to keep in theme. Because I was trying to see if I would get more views. And in fact, I got over 500% more views. Now, you may be smiling to yourself because if you know about statistics, they can be twisted. You know, like say there are 2 people who have the most dangerous communicable plague-like disease in the history of the world in recent years, one day. And then the next day, there are 4. And so that means that there is a 200% increase in cases. So you get where I'm going here. But anyway, so I did get more views, a handful, and and I was wondering if it's because the subject matter I was treating, was dating same-sex couples and homosexuality and so all that stuff, if that had anything to do, gayness, if that had anything to do with the increased attention due to the titillating and tantalizing and teasing risque subject matter. And so I'm going to A/B test that and just play it straight, no pun intended, today. But one other thing I did that was different that may have driven views is that I made a reel. What I do is I make a reel and then I repost it as a story. And with the story, you can put the link. So that might have greased the the tracks, greased the sled, whatever the term is, greased the rails a little bit. So we'll see how that's going on. And what else? Oh yeah, the dating websites. And on Bumble, for some reason, there's a lot of gals from Kenya who seem to match. So whatever that may be. But anyway, let's hear this song that I was working on. So this is I listened to a radio station called why am I blanking on the name right now? FIP, FIP, and it's a state-run radio station, sort of like the BBC or PBS, NPR. But man, they play good stuff. They play a lot of covers, which I appreciate. So you get crazy like an Arabic cover of Painted Black or Sympathy for the Devil or something like that. And the programmers are good too because they'll play a cover song and then they'll play a related song by the original artist, and then they'll go into something else that's related. So I quite like it. But at night sometimes they just play this funky stuff with all these bass lines, and I'm just impelled to grab the bass, which Juan so kindly lent me, and try to emulate the bass lines. And so this one I call Cypress Boogie. And it was, in fact, because I was listening to Cypress Hill, that song, Insane in the Membrane. Now, if my memory serves, they just loop this riff all the way through. And so I was thinking, what is that sample from? And so I looked it up today, and it says that the hook and riff is from Sly and the Family Stone. Fly and the Family Stone. Fly and the Stonely Fam. Life. Sly and the Family Stone, 1968. So what I was really tempted to go and listen to that because I need to record this, and but I didn't want my interpretation to be influenced by the original, like feeling that I have to go back and change something like that. So I'm going to listen to that afterwards, and also, I think this riff might be I changed it, you know. So in the song it's just going, but then I changed it to go. And then put this second part on it. And there are two other songs that are sampled in that song. Insane in the Membrane by Cypress Hill. Mel and Tim's Good Guys Only Win in the Movies by the same, the track is the same title by Mel and Tim in 1969. And then finally, the Youngbloods, All Over the World, La La, All Over the World, La La, from 1967. And so there's some multiple elements in that. With the only the good guys win in the movies, it's sound effects and other is what the credit is, but it says that the same riff is Olivier, comment ça va toi? Tu vas bien? So let's go through this. Je suis en train de jouer une chanson de mon propre composition en fait. Ça s'appelle Cypress Boogie. So it starts like this. And then this part. That little descent there is sort of like something off of Blood Sugar Sex Magic by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Red Oats. And then it goes like this again. Marie Requia. Oh, hey, comment ça va toi? Marie s'est passée pour les portes ouvertes des artistes Ménilmontant la semaine dernière. Oh, il y a 2 semaines maintenant, je crois. Then it goes back to the same riff. And then we go again. I'm doing a sort of an abbreviated version. And here's a little bit of a change in the middle, using those octave notes. Now listen to this. Ooh, Haunted. That's for Andres. And then we do this classic blues move. Oops. And then it ends sort of how it began. Okay. So I've been doing some. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments. And in fact, while you're in the comments, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share this video. It really helps the channel. And I also I've been doing some. And if you would like to see my photography work, some of it is a bit spicy, a bit shocking, perhaps, to some sensibilities. Leave that in the comments. Say, just write photo or something like that, and I'll send you the link to my super secret private Instagram account that has some of my photos. And it started out with these photos, but then I kind of changed the subject matter. I have some drawings. some a little bit of well, you'll see if you are so inclined to go and check that out. But that's the sort of subject matter that I'm hoping to find on this photography website. And what else? Well, I think that's it. So, merci beaucoup, Olivier et Marie, d'être passés, et à bientôt, j'espère. And also, what else is news? Oh, I got a date on Friday with Aurélien. Voilà. Coucou Aurélien. Je suis en train de terminer mon podcast actuellement parce qu'il faut que j'y vais. Je suis en retard. Donc, à bientôt, à ce vendredi, ouais? Bisous. Ciao.